YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Y2Shadows, and we're back at it again with part 2 of the video that I just uploaded. Well, I made it yesterday, but I uploaded it today. But anyway, forget all that. Part 2 of the series, right? We're doing part 2 of how I feel about your favorite NFL team after 5 weeks into the year. Now, I wanted to do kind of all this in one take, but like I kind of realized the video kind of got long yesterday, so I was like, I'm kind of going to split it up into 2 parts. So we did AFC yesterday, we're going to do NFC today. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? This was only supposed to be after 5 weeks. However, the Eagles and Giants just played last night, and that's why you can see their record. They played 6 games, where everybody else has only played 5, or some people that were on a bye only played like 4, that type of thing, right? So we're gonna pretty much, like, I can't just ignore the game that happened last night, right? Like, if I only talked about everything that was before that, then yeah, but like I gotta talk about the game last night too. So let's begin. And funny enough, at the top, it's the NFC East that just played last night. So Philadelphia, oh man, what can I say about Philadelphia, man? Eagles started off the year 4-0. They weren't playing that well, funny enough. They had multiple games where like they couldn't score offense. They couldn't put offensive drives together, and they were struggling to get the ball into the end zone. And people didn't care because people were like, oh, hey, we're winning, right? Like, that's all that matters, is that we're winning. Yeah, that's clearly not the case anymore, because now you blew a lead to the Broncos 4 days ago, or 5 days ago at this point, and then you got your ass whooped by the Giants. That's not a recipe, I would say, that's really good for their success. Kevin Patullo, first-year offensive coordinator. People are already clamoring for him to get fired. People want Sirianni gone too. It's just all around not good vibes in Philadelphia right now, even though they're more than likely going to be at the top of the division. Fun fact, though, NFC East hasn't had a repeat division winner since like 2005 or something like that. I think 2000. It was like early 2000s the last time NFC East had a repeat winner. So is this the year that the streak is finally broken, like Eagles win it again, or is somebody else like the Commanders, us, or even the Giants gonna go ahead and do that? I say us because I'm a Cowboys fan, right? But we'll kind of see. Let me see when does Philly have a bye too? I don't think Philly has a bye coming up like anytime soon. Oh no, they have week 9 bye. Okay, so they got a week 9 bye. Okay, so they're going to the Vikings, which, I mean, that's Carson Wentz. And they got 10 days to prepare for that, so I mean, it's not gonna be too bad. Then they play the Giants again. Wow, they get the Giants that quick again. That's nuts. And then they got the week 9 bye. So yeah, very interesting to kind of see there. Next, Commanders. Commanders started the year. They got the first dub of the year. Then they ended up going to Green Bay and got beat the fuck up out of. And then they found out that Austin Eckler was out for the year. Austin Eckler tore his Achilles. Jaden Daniels had gotten hurt for multiple games, so it wasn't really looking good. But then they got the rookie dude, Krosky Merritt. I think he's a rookie or second year dude. I think he might have been played last year, but Krosky Merritt has been toting the ball for them pretty well. Their defense is old as fuck. Like, they're performing, but their defense is like really, really old. So people kind of got that like hesitancy to kind of trust a really old defense, but like they're playing okay-ish, I would say. Their most recent game in LA against the Chargers, they were down 10-0, and then they put 27 unanswered points, which I feel like is more of an indictment on the Chargers, but well, that's kind of me hating, to be honest. But I mean, 27 unanswered points, I mean, you got to put the points up, so, and they did that shit. Salute to them. Jaden, it's really interesting, right? Because this division, I don't know who's the best quarterback in this division, but I also now don't know who the worst is. I would have gone into the year, I would have said Jackson Dart, or obviously Russ, would have been the worst quarterback in the division, but Jackson Dart just showed out on prime time, so I don't really know if he's the worst. And then, like, yes, Jaden had the argument going into the year. I would have said is the best quarterback in the division, but do I really think that he's better than Dak? And he hasn't even played Dak. He hasn't even played Dak yet. Like the 2 games that he played against backups when against Dallas. Do I really think he's better than Dak just because they went to the fucking NFC Championship game? Not really. So it's really interesting there. But I mean, but it is year 2 Jaden. Jaden's got something to watch out for. He does have a knee brace on, so that's gonna be something interesting to watch out for Commanders fans. I know Commanders fans are traumatized with black quarterbacks on their team with the knee brace, but we'll see. I mean, they're playing pretty well. I know that we play them in 2 weeks. So after this week, we play them. Who do they play this upcoming week? They're at home. Oh, Monday Night Football against the Bears. Yes. So they got a huge game coming up where they play Caleb again. The last time, if you guys remember last year, was the Hail Mary heard around the world. So we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see if that ends up pulling through. Us, Dallas. So unfortunately, because like the Chicago game, we kind of just, like the moment CD was out, our game plan kind of just went out the window, and then Dak tried to play hero ball, threw multiple interceptions. It was a bad game. But if you take the Chicago outlier out of the game, Dallas has been in every single game and probably should have won every single game. Like that Green Bay game, right? Like that's just an unfortunate thing of, like, Green Bay was just dumb as fuck. And literally, if that ball just stays up in the air for like a second longer, right? Even if the Cowboys don't pick it off, which there's people around there, so they could have. But even if the ball stays up in the air instead of just dropping straight down, the Packers lose that game, and for no fucking reason, just because of abysmal play calling. And then CD, literally, Dak had thrown multiple passes to CD that CD had dropped in that game, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, CD should have had 200 yards. But yeah, so right now they only really beat weak competition at the moment, which is the Giants and the Jets. And they beat the Giants before they even got Jackson Dart. So I know Giants fans aren't even going to really credit that, even though Russell Wilson went the fuck off on that defense. But they beat the Giants team that's now is not playing Russ anymore, they're playing Dart. And then they beat the Jets team that the Jets is probably the worst team in the NFL. So Dallas doesn't really have any quality wins. They got opportunities coming up soon though, where they play in back-to-back weeks. They play the Commanders next week. Like this week they play Carolina, so not really whatever team, but they play Carolina this week. That's not really a good team, but they got Commanders next week, and then they're going to Denver afterwards. So they have a chance to show that they can really be in the playoff and upper echelon tier of teams if they show out versus those guys. We'll see though. Again, like the Commanders game, they're gonna play at home, but they are going to Denver. Denver is a tough place to play as well, so we'll kind of see how that affects them. I think that might be a game of the week too, knowing how like Denver probably wants to play later and Cowboys want to play later. There's probably going to be game of the week, so it's going to be prime time slot there. But yeah, Dallas's offense is probably the best in the NFL. They're just putting up points, running the ball, getting a like great play calling out with motions, with a motioned offense, but it's just the defense is still kind of abysmal. They're going to be getting Overshown and stuff back soon, but I mean, again, I feel like Cowboys are going to have to make a actual trade on defense to really go the distance. But we'll see how that goes. They gotta get some quality wins though. You can't just continue to beat up on bottom feeders. You gotta get some real quality wins to actually have people take you seriously. So the Giants. So they started Jackson Dart, right, against the Chargers, and they won that game, right? Everybody's in love. Woo, yeah. There's like, Giants fans going crazy. And then they lost to the Saints. They let the Saints get their first win of the year. New Orleans Saints. I wasn't sure what they were doing in that game and why they were allowing them to play like that. But yeah, the Giants are like a weird team, to be honest, right? Because they've been energized since Jackson Dart has come in, but like, that defensive line that everybody's supposed to be like really worried about, like Sexy Dexy, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter. Everybody was like, oh, like this Giants defensive line is gonna be like incredible, and like they've been like really wishy-washy this year. Like I can't really I can't really pinpoint why they're not winning more on the defensive line, but I mean, it is what it is. Brian Burns, I think, has like 4 or 5 sacks already. Like he's having a great year, and if he continues to go off, he might make like a all pro team. Like I don't know if he's gonna go first team all pro, but I can see like a second team all pro if Brian Burns continues to do what he's doing, because Brian Burns is like lighting the fucking stat sheet up, especially in sacks. Jackson Dart's been hooping. Scattaboo. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jackson Dart and Scattaboo, I don't know what it is with them leading with their helmets and stuff. They're going to have CT in the future if they just keep allowing the head trauma to happen. But I mean, you gotta love the way that both of them are playing. They did, again, the quality win. They beat the Eagles last night. Eagles, again, was a lot of people's NFC favorites and stuff. So beating the Eagles on primetime television is a big deal. But we will kind of see if that's going to be sustained success. Because, I mean, like, you know, again, beating the Eagles and stuff is one thing, but can you do it again? They got 10 days rest too, and they're going to Denver, so that's not an easy game too. And then they're gonna be going to Philly. Oh my god, look at the schedule. Wait, they're going to Denver, they're going to Philly, and then they got home against the 49ers. Oh my goodness. Here's these next 3 games. Hey, we'll learn a lot about the Giants in the next 3 games, if they're actually for real or not. Like, if you could go in again, like, if you could beat the Eagles again, like, I mean, look, if you split with the Eagles, I don't think, like, you guys would care. You guys would be like, okay, cool. Like, but if you guys could pull off any sort of wins against the Broncos or the 49ers, that'll elevate people's things in your eyes and kind of see what they're doing from there. As of right now, though, I think because nobody knows Jackson Dart because it's year 1, they don't really know how to game plan for him at the moment. So it's kind of like, I mean, he's cool and like he's changing their franchise, but like I'm not gonna put him all of a sudden as like I'm not gonna all of a sudden put him over Jalen Hurts. No, I'm not gonna put him over Jaden Daniels. Damn sure not above Dak, but I'm not gonna put him over Hurts, Dak, or Daniels in the division. He's still gonna be last in the division until like he can put some real continuity together for like a long stretch. So we'll see. The Lions, right now, I would say, like a lot of people, they are currently the best team in the NFL. The Lions, outside of week 1, where they kind of got annihilated by the Packers, which was in the Packers Stadium, Micah Parsons, you know, debut game with them. Outside of like that little outlier game, which again a lot of people again would like against the first game of the year, so stuff happens all the time in the first game of the year, I would literally say that Detroit has been dominant in all their games. They lit it up against Chicago, they lit it up last week against Cincinnati. They've been lighting up again. Has actually, outside of the Green Bay game, has Detroit really played anybody like of value, to be honest? They do have the Chiefs come, like, I mean, they have the Chiefs and the Bucks. Oh, Chiefs, Buck, Vikings. Okay, actually, they're like, right as I was about to ask about their schedule, they got the Chiefs, Bucks, Vikings all coming up. So, like, they got that all coming and happening. Okay, at the time, right, Baltimore, I would have said Baltimore was a great win, which it was. I mean, they had full, healthy Lamar Jackson. They had Derrick Henry. They forced Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry fumbled the ball again during that time, which had ultimately cost the Ravens there. I would say, like, the Ravens is probably, like, their best quality win at the moment because, you know, beating the Bengals without Joe Burrow, I mean, bro, it's the quarterback situation in Cincinnati is so bad right now. It's kind of like, it's so abysmal. It's whatever. But outside, I would say like Baltimore beating a healthy Lamar and Derrick Henry when they were playing their best too. I would say that's probably like their best one of the year so far. I'm not going to discredit that either because Baltimore has all of a sudden fell off a cliff. I'm going to like say as a quality win. But they don't, but they, and outside of that, they don't really have anything other quality wise. They've been kind of beaten up like Chicago. I know Chicago beat Dallas, right? So people would be like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan talking. But like, again, Chicago has to like really put it on film that like they're actually going to be a serious threat. Plus, again, they're also missing their best cornerback, Jalen Johnson, is gone for the year too, so we'll kind of see there. But yeah, I would say the Lions right now are the best team in the NFL, and they have a chance to further prove that with their next 3 games. Like, they got a tough 3 games coming up, so they got a chance to further submit that. The Packers, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you should be 2-2. You shouldn't have the tie right there. That abysmal coaching at the end of the Cowboys game, I can't believe Matt LaFleur and the coaching to end that game. Like, you guys were the most unserious, and you're literally lucky that when it hit the back of the dude's shoulder pad, it just dropped straight down instead of popping up in the air like typically most NFL balls do. So that's kind of crazy in itself. The Packers, though, kind of, I would say, before the bye, their last 2 weeks, pretty crazy. In the Browns game, their defense was elite, like it was pretty much all year, but they couldn't score a damn on offense, which, to be fair, I'll give credit to the Browns. The Browns defense is, I would say, top 5 in the NFL, but the fact that you guys couldn't get offense together, and Jordan Love threw a pick that kind of helped Cleveland win the game is a big factor in my opinion as well. And then again, like I said, that overtime period in the end of the Cowboys game was so abysmal. You guys had Jordan Love playing so well. Cowboys couldn't stop you guys worth a damn. But you guys couldn't stop the Cowboys at all. Like, you know what's funny? For years, right? I want to speak about Micah real quick. For years, right, Cowboys fans have mentioned that Micah Parsons was getting like double and triple teamed, and people wouldn't say a damn thing about it. They would say he's getting held every play, all of that. But when they show it against the Cowboys game, you got people talking about, they're holding, yada yada, they're not calling it. That's just how the refs have been with Micah. They don't know how to ref Micah, so they're not gonna call holding calls and stuff on him. You're just not gonna see it, y'all. So it's just really funny to see that Cowboys fans were saying this for years, and now that they've seen that in primetime game, Packers fans are complaining about it. And I was like, well, you guys seen what we said for years. It is what it is. But yeah, Packers got some games coming up too, actually, where they got to prove themselves. Their schedule's, I'm not gonna lie, this schedule's, if you guys can't win these next 3 games, especially this Bengals game, you guys don't annihilate the Bengals, that's crazy to me. But Cardinals is not really a tough opponent right now, especially how they played, where they lost to, I would have said at the time, the worst team in the NFL. And then the Steelers game, Steelers aren't really a crazy team in my opinion either. Like, you got to put together, you got to go 3-0, I think, in this stretch. If you don't go 3-0, we're going to look at you pretty differently. Minnesota, they started the year off right with a comeback win with JJ McCarthy in Chicago. Chicago kid came home and JJ had came out, and then week 2 they had gotten like fucking blasted, and then JJ got hurt, and then they kind of had Carson Wentz step up since, and then pretty much since that man, Justin Jefferson, has been having a ball. Like earlier in the year, Jettas would like get a touchdown and stuff, but he'd have like 30, 40 yards and stuff like that. He wouldn't have like a crazy big game, and I know that was like eating at him. So the moment that Wentz comes in and they're now airing it out, and like he's getting like 113, 130 yards a game, stuff like that, I know like Jettas are happy. I mean, he's not getting the touchdowns, not gonna lie to you guys, but he's definitely getting the yards. Addison just came back from suspension. Addison's been a pretty big factor in these games. Addison helped them in the Steelers game when they were going all the way down. He had got like a big play just at the end of the game. Just Carson Wentz just going Wentz, to be 100% honest with you. And then last week when they were also where were they at last week? They were in, was it Germany last week? Dublin? Oh no, Dublin. Might have been Dublin, Ireland. My bad, Dublin. When they were Dublin last week, and they got the last minute touchdown to Addison over there. Addison's been stepped back up immediately as wide receiver 2 on the Vikings team, and has kind of helped them out a lot. Although he's constantly getting in trouble, so he's somebody you need to watch out for, because again, they suspended him for the first half of last week against the Browns. And somebody, you know what's funny? It was a random Twitter comment, but a Twitter comment had reported that Addison had gone missing. Like, they couldn't find him like the day before. Like, he just was gone missing. It was like, all right, man, like, you're kind of being like a detriment to your team. It's not really good sign there. But yeah, Minnesota, man. Minnesota's playing good without their starting quarterback. JJ expected to come back, I think, within the next couple of weeks. But JJ's the fact that JJ's only really played 2 games in the league so far, and JJ's gonna be their starter, right? So they're gonna put JJ back in. JJ's got to come back in and immediately show that, like, hey, it was the right decision. Oh, quick thing on the defense. Minnesota's defense is incredible. Brian Flores, clap it up. Hell of a job, Brian Flores. Brian Flores coaching a masterclass defense. The fact that Isaiah Rodgers, right? Isaiah Rodgers, what's funny is I think I remember I found him off of Destroying's videos. Like, he was on the Colts at the time, but like I remember seeing him from Destroying videos. And the fact that, like, he had literally in Pro Football Focus's grade, like, it was like the second greatest or like the greatest defensive game by a corner ever is like nuts to me. Like, that performance they did against the Bengals was masterful. That was great. Lastly, Chicago. Chicago was on a bye. You guys have a big game on Monday night against the Commanders. Chicago, they started the year off 0-2. You blew the lead against the Vikings, and then you got annihilated by Detroit. But then you got a really good win against Dallas, albeit like CeeDee Lamb got hurt, so that kind of changed the game plan. And then you guys also won again as well before the bye. So you stacked up 2 wins. So you guys got some momentum coming into the year. Caleb has shown to be a better quarterback than he has been in year 1, and then now, I mean, you got a couple, like, I'm not going to say so. I'm going to be honest. This Ravens game, you're going to have Lamar back, and you guys are going to Baltimore. I'm not going to lie to you. That's going to be really, really tough. I don't think that's going to be something you guys are going to have to show the world, that you guys can beat a healthy Lamar back when you guys play them. But the Saints games, you got to have the Saints at home. The Saints are one of the worst teams in the NFL. You guys should be able to beat this. I think you should be able to. If you can't beat the Saints, then I'm going to tell you guys to pack up the season and start preparing for mock drafts. However, the Commanders game will show a lot too. If you guys can beat the Commanders on Monday Night Football and give revenge for what happened last year, I think that's showing that Chicago football's trajectory is going upwards. You guys will be having a good time. NFC South. So we got Tampa. Tampa is another team that's really doing well in the NFL. They've been hurt a lot too. A lot of like old linemen hurt. Chris Godwin was out for a while. Mike Evans is gone for a while too. There's a real chance actually that Mike Evans' 1,000 yard streak is probably gonna end this year, y'all. Like, that's a real possibility that we're looking at. Mike Evans' 1K streak is probably going to be done this year, especially if he continues to miss more games. Like, it's possible that his streak is going to be done, which, if it is, that's a hell of a streak. That's going to be hard for anybody to beat. I think that's like what they said. It's either 12 or 13 straight years of 1K. Like, hell of a streak, Mike Evans. But Tampa's been really, really well. The fact that Baker, all 4 of their wins have been comeback wins. That's kind of the reason why they have Baker right now as the #1 leading MVP candidate on a lot of people's ballots, is because of the fact that, like, they're 4-1 and all these wins have been fourth quarter clutch crunch time wins, like getting it in the crunch down moment. So Baker has been balling. Emeka Egbuka, right now, after 5 weeks, I have Mecca already within my top 10. I might be willing to go top 5 a little bit sooner. Actually, no, because when we get further down this list, we got JSN Egbuka. I don't know if he's better than JSN Egbuka just yet, but I got him in the top 10. I can definitively for sure. I will kick BTJ out of the top 10, and I will put Mecca in that top 10 already. Mecca has been balling his rookie year. Oh man, what a stud! What a stud! Atlanta, you guys had a really interesting start too. You guys had a chance to win that game against the Buccaneers, and I don't even say win it, because I think that was gonna tie it. Younghoe Koo had a chance to tie the game for overtime, I believe, right? For overtime, and he freaking missed the chip shot. That was crazy there. You guys got a quality win against the Commanders, nice quality win over there too. But you guys have been like kind of wishy-washy the whole year. Your next 2 games are incredibly difficult. The Bills and the 49ers, just absolutely tough. I think this game is Monday Night Football too. I think you guys are playing at home against Bills on Monday Night Football too. So you got primetime Monday Night Football as well, and then going to San Francisco. You guys have a hell of a thing to do, but you guys are coming off a bye, so you guys got a chance to come off the bye and come correct. But again, your next 2 games are going to be really tough from there. The Atlanta Falcons, they're kind of just like there at the moment. Oh, actually, I will say, by the way, this loss right here, I'm not going to lie to you, the only way to erase this loss this year, this 30-0 loss, is you guys have to make the playoffs. If you guys don't make the playoffs, that's going to be one of the biggest stains on the 2025 resume for the Atlanta Falcons for a while to come. Losing 30-0 to that Panthers team oh man, I will put that, actually, that might be the worst performance a team has had this year. I will probably say, like, actually, no, that is the worst performance a team has had this year. I don't know a team, like a game where you can say a team has played worse than the Atlanta Falcons did that game, for sure. You guys have to make the playoffs in order to erase that nasty taste from your mouth. Carolina, speaking of you guys had, again, one of your best wins of the year, shutting out a Falcons team that was supposed to annihilate you guys, and then you guys came back against the Dolphins, got in a last-minute touchdown against the Dolphins last week. Rico Dowdle having 200 yards is crazy. You guys play us this week. We're coming to you guys, so we'll see you guys in a couple of days. If you guys can win that game and put together some more wins, maybe there is hope that Bryce Young will be the future of Carolina, but I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm not sure how your future is looking. Tet is wide receiver 1 over there. Tet's having a pretty solid year, but you guys don't really have any wide receiver 2s that I would say are really like doing good for you right now. Legette's not really having a good year at all, to be 100% honest with you. Jimmy Horn's doing pretty good, though. I would say you guys did a nice pickup with grabbing Jimmy Horn from Colorado, so we'll kind of see there. But yeah, you guys pretty much right now, you guys are at that point where we need to continue to see if Bryce Young is going to be your quarterback for the year, like for the future and beyond, or if you need to start getting ready to mock draft a quarterback. So we'll kind of see there. Saints, you guys got your first win of the season last week against the well, not last week, the week before. Actually, was it last week? Yeah, it was last week against last week against the Giants. Yeah, because it was week 5. You guys got your first win against the Giants. You guys have played really good against Buffalo. Outside of that, you guys have been pretty horrible all year. But then again, Spencer Rattler has been playing pretty well. It just hadn't amounted to wins until you guys finally beat the Giants. This is another situation too where we need to figure out, like, do you guys already have your franchise quarterback, right? Like, is Rattler or Tyler Show going to be your quarterbacks, or are you guys going to actually have to go ahead and draft one in this year's draft? Maybe go get Sellers from South Carolina or any of these other quarterbacks to really see there. But you guys have some pieces. I mean, I don't know if you trust Olave as your wide receiver 1. I wonder if you guys are going to maybe start looking around to see if Olave is actually a 2, or if you guys need to go get a real wide receiver 1 in next year's draft. But Shaheed, deep ball threat, always going to be there. If you guys can go ahead and get some playmakers on defense, then yeah, if you guys need some playmakers on defense. The Saints just need work as general. Like, they're in a rebuild year. They kind of need like a lot of work in general. But pretty much now, again, this is another one just like Bryce Young. We need to see, did you guys draft the right quarterback like Tyler Show this year? Did you draft him? Was he the right quarterback choice as a future franchise? Was Rattler also, again, same thing? Was he also worth the pick? Or do you guys need to just go ahead and mail it in? So we'll kind of see over the next coming weeks. Right now, again, I'm not too high on you guys. I think you guys are going to have to get a new quarterback. Lastly, the NFC West. The 49ers, another shock to me. Kyle Shanahan teams just will not die. Literally, when they're dying, right? Literally, when all the teams are dying, they won't actually die. Like, they're 4-1. The only loss being to Trevor Lawrence and them's teams, where they actually, funny enough, had opportunities to win that game too, where they could have been 5-0, would have been the last undefeated team with all their team dead. Brock Purdy being in and out hurt, Kittle being hurt. Ricky Pearsall's not going to play this week as well. They got a ton of injuries on the defense. I don't understand how this team is staying alive But then again, just like Kevin O'Connell, Kyle Shanahan seems to be a fucking QE whisperer, because Mac Jones, who we thought was lying for dead, Mac Jones is over there balling the fuck out. And he's going to play again this week. Who did the 49ers play this week, by the way? Who is it? The Bucks? Oh, yeah, they play the Bucks this week. So, primetime. Yeah, they're just literally staying alive, and I don't get it how it's working out, but it's working for them. So we'll see if they can beat Baker, though. Like, you guys are going to Tampa Bay, and that's a primetime game, so let's see if you guys can beat them in game of the week. But the fact that you guys are balling like that says a lot about how well coached you guys are and how locked in your team is. Seattle's another team. Seattle's another team that's been one of my shockers as well. JSN right now, JSN has an argument to be top 5 in the NFL. I think the JSN right now is in the discussion because JSN has been balling. Cooper Kupp's been having a little quiet year, but they got Cooper Kupp to be wide receiver 2. Sam Darnold. I can't say enough about what Sam Darnold is doing. Sam Darnold is balling out and having a blast. I will say, though, they had a chance last week to try to win again against the 49ers, and ultimately, Darnold's going to Darnold. Now, I will say that the Bucks defender had tipped it, so it got tipped, and that's how it ended up getting picked for the Buccaneers to walk it off. But still, though, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, again, that's like, well, I mean, that's one of those that's like kind of unfortunate. It's like, hey, just a great play by the defense that got the tip, and then actually no, I think it hit his shoulder. Either got tipped or hit his shoulder. I don't remember. I forgot that final play 100% that for when the Bucks got the pick. But I mean, yeah, man. Seattle, though. Seattle's like a really interesting team. They played Jacksonville this week, so we'll kind of see how they play fair against Jacksonville. And then they got Texas Commanders. A nice little 3-game stretch up here to really prove you guys are like really actually gonna be worth the damn. The NFC West is crazy, by the way. NFC West. I thought the NFC North was gonna be a dogfight this year, which it is, but the NFC West too. Good lord, y'all. NFC West. It's so crazy in the NFC, y'all. The NFC is such a tight race. Like, it's gonna come down to the wire with seeding this year. Like, the NFC is so like ridiculous, y'all. But yeah, Seattle, if you guys can stack up some wins over here, we'll think even more highly of you. But then again, ultimately, it is like, how do I feel your quarterback? Your defense is playing pretty good, but man, Sam Darnold, it's hard to trust Sam Darnold in the biggest moments. Again, we've seen him last year in the playoff game be absolutely like ass too. So can Sam Darnold finally overcome these demons later in the year, like getting into the playoffs, and then ultimately if they get into the playoffs going into January stuff as well. Rams, Matt Stafford has been balling, been a dog, but I will say back-to-back losses is not ideal. The way you guys lost to the 49ers on primetime Thursday night was really, really bad. The fact that Kyren Williams fumbled multiple times, had fumbled there, like getting into the end zone. Kyren Williams had a touchdown, and the fact that he let the ball get punched out was bad, and then getting stopped on 4th and 1 was crazy too. I blame that overtime period, though, on Sean McVay. Matthew Stafford was cooking all game, carving up that 49ers defense, and in overtime was carving that defense up. And on 4th and 1, right there, instead of putting the ball in your best player's hands and letting him go to work and maybe finding Puka, who's probably the number 1 receiver in the NFL this year. I would say fantasy-wise, he's definitely number 1, but he might be the best wide receiver in the NFL this year based off upon production. And the fact that you just don't get Matthew Stafford a chance to work that out. And then Devontae Adams having a great year too. Jared Verse on defense cooking. I don't understand why McVay made that call there to go to Kyren on 4th and 1. I understand Kyren is a touchdown machine and a dog, but like there's just certain play calls where in the flow of the game where you just feel how shit is going, and you should have felt that Stafford is dealing. If we're gonna lose the game because of Stafford with the way he was playing, you gotta live with it. It is what it is. I just don't understand handing the ball off to Kyron there at all, to be honest. But Rams, you got to get back on track, because again, you were at the top of the NFC West, and now 49ers up there and just could get away from you guys. You guys are going to play an injured to hell Ravens team, so you guys should be able to win that game. And then the Jaguars game, may be tough. Ooh, is that in London? 9:30 a.m. That's an overseas game. Are you guys going to London? Interesting. Might be going to London or something, but that's an overseas game for sure. 9:30 a.m. Yeah, it's an overseas game. You guys also have a bye coming up to week 8, so you get a chance, and then you guys play a garbage Saints team. So I feel like you need to win 2 of these next 3 games for sure to get back like up there. I would say the ideal situation is to go 3-0, because the Jaguars aren't unbeatable. Like, they've shown they can be pretty beatable, but you want to at least go 2-3 here. The injured as hell Ravens team and a trash Saints team. You gotta go. I think either 2-3 or 3-0. And then lastly, the Arizona Cardinals. My stock on you guys has fallen down tremendously. The fact that you allowed Tennessee to get their first win of the year, and in the fashion that you guys did, you guys were up multiple scores with like 4 minutes left, and the fact that you guys blew the lead in that game is absolutely despicable, unacceptable from a Cardinals franchise that looked to see that they were on the up and up. Kyler Murray, you continue to be probably one of the more overpaid quarterbacks in the NFL. You just have not been, I would say, really worth the hype, to be 100% honest with you guys. And then your next 3 games are like really, really tough too. You're going to the Colts, like you're playing an MVP candidate in Indiana Jones. You got home against the Packers, and then you guys have a bye week, but then you're going to Dallas. Now the funny thing about that one is, what's funny is, going back to high school, Kyler Murray has never lost in the state of Dallas. So if you want to pull that card, yes, whatever. But like, again, this is the NFL. This is pros, right? Let's be fucking for real. This is pros we're talking about here. We're not talking about just the damn, right? We're not just talking about high school and college. Like, this is pros. So like, it is what it is. But yeah, Arizona, that was a bad loss. One of the worst losses of the year to Tennessee. God-awful loss, to be 100% honest with you guys. You guys have really looked crazy impressive all year either. I mean, the fact that you guys were so close with the Saints in week 1, like the Saints game going down to the wire that it was whatever. You guys going to with Carolina, and then losing to 49ers, losing to Seattle, like 3-game losing streak you guys are on right now too, and it could get even uglier. Yeah, man, I don't really see, like, unless you guys have to start getting some wins somewhere, but it's kind of hard to imagine. Like, look at your schedule, dude. You don't have a freebie until week 17, I believe. Like, the next time you guys might have a free win is week 17 against the Bengals, and this is probably when they're gonna have Joe Burrow back. And it'll depend on if they actually play Burrow, because they're still somehow in the race. Then yeah, like, that's not a free win either. Like, but dude, this schedule of you guys is ridiculous. There is no wins here that are gimme games. You guys have a chance to lose a lot of games here. Yeah, Arizona, I'm just not high on you guys at all. And then that loss, already on a 2-game losing streak, but then losing to Tennessee in the fashion that you guys did, that just makes the stock, I feel, even lower in my opinion, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. And that's going to pretty much do it, y'all, for the NFC side. Let me know your guys' thoughts, your discussions. Leave comments. I want to hear people debate on my thoughts on your team and kind of see how they are. The NFC is for sure the harder conference of the 2 out of the AFC. Like, there's so many teams here that are vying for playoff spots. Like, it's so nuts how a lot of people's seasons are alive. Like the only teams realistically that as of right now, I would say have no chance of making the playoffs are the Saints and the Panthers. Those are the only 2 teams right now I would say like I will bet the house on, like, have 0 chance of making the playoffs. every other team, you have arguments in here that can make the playoffs, especially after the Giants just got the W last night as well. Like, you can make arguments about all these teams being able to make the playoffs, y'all. It's pretty crazy how it works. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I love you guys. Cavs Control Army, I'm out. Leave your thoughts and comments down below and share the video. Let me know how you guys think about the NFL season so far after 5 weeks. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces, y'all. I love you guys.